everyone, welcome to Angular Aesthetics. I'm jazzed to be starting this new series all about the beauty of Angular. My name is Emma Twersky, and I'm a developer relations engineer at Google on the Angular team. Today, we're starting with something that I add to every app that I new, Angular Material. Angular Material is the implementation of Material Design, Google's design system, for Angular. A design system is a collection of visual design patterns and components that can be used to create user experiences. At Google, we use these components in our more than 2,600 Angular applications to create a consistent and cohesive look and feel. Externally, the same components can provide a flexible way to utilize the power of a design system like Material Design within your own Angular applications. So, why use a component library like Angular Material? Out of the box, it provides high-quality, versatile, and frictionless components to quickly get your app up, running, and functional. It also includes built-in consideration for things like usability and accessibility, which aren't just nice to have, they're requirements. Let's run through a few use cases. If you're an individual developer creating a quick MVP demo, adding Angular Material to your app builds upon the design resources of hundreds of Google designers, developers, and experts to ensure your app is polished and allows you to showcase your ideas quickly in a high-quality demo, without having to dig into the HTML and CSS. If we think a little bit larger, you might be on a freelance team building a site for a local brand. Here, we can use the versatility of material theming on our Angular Material components to cohesively customize the look and feel to that brand without having to start from scratch. At the largest scale, a Fortune 500 company building multiple applications across a larger brand can use the Material Component Library to ensure consistent vocabulary across cross-functional teams, and it'll help create a consistent look and feel across applications. Now that we understand what we're working with, let's get set up. In this series, we'll be building an Angular vision of a video application, kind of like YouTube. In this first part, we'll learn how to add Angular Material and get started adding and using the components provided. Okay, to get started, let's open up our project in VS Code. You can find the GitHub repository for this project in the video description. First things first, let's serve our application and see what we're working with. We have some form of a video player application, but the styling is all over the place and I can't figure out what I'm looking at. So let's add Angular Material and see if we can't clean this up. In my terminal, I'm going to run a single command, ng add Angular Material. One command, and that's absolutely it. This command automatically adds Angular Material, the component developer kit, and Angular animations. Now we're going to make 3 command line choices. First, we choose a theme. There are 4 pre-built themes. The light themes, deep purple amber and indigo pink, and the dark themes, pink blue gray and purple green, and a 5th custom theme. These themes impact the primary and accent colors of our application, and you can think more broadly about themes as conveying customizations, brand identity, and emotion to your app through color, type, shape, and motion. For now, I'm going to roll with indigo pink, and we can always customize that theme later down the line. Next, for global Angular Material typography, I'm going to select yes. This declares global typography styles and is helpful when we look at customizing our theme. Finally, for browser animation, I'm going to select the default yes. This imports the browser animation module and enables out-of-the-box animation system in Angular Material. Now that our schematic has run, let's see what's changed. The project dependencies were automatically added to our package.json. We've added the Angular Material icon font and Roboto, the default material font, to our index.html. We've also added a few global CSS style resets. Now that we're all set up, let's get started using those material components. We're going to start by replacing a clickable div with a material button. Beyond the visual improvements, this will help screen readers identify the button and add ARIA role support, ensuring a more accessible and intuitive experience for users. There are 3 steps to remember each time you get started. First, we import the components module into our app module. This gives our app access to use that component. Next, we're going to add the component to the template. Here, we're replacing our div with that material button. Finally, let's check our work in our served application to see the changes. And there we go. We now have a beautiful material button in our application, but we're not done there. How did I know to use the map button directive, or that I could change the color of the button? To understand our options, let's head to the documentation to understand all that Material can do. Right now, I'm on material.angular.io, and I'm looking through the various components. Let's go to button to see what else I can do. I see here that I have a ton of options for button appearance, and I think I like the look of this flat button, so I'm going to go back and change my code to see what that looks like. Okay, I like the direction this is headed. I'm going to go ahead and head off screen to replace the rest of my messy HTML with some more Angular material components. I'll be right back. Pause the video and go ahead and do the same if you're coding along. Ta-da! We're back. Here's my UI now that I've implemented some additional material components into this application. I know it looks like a lot, but I've only actually added just a few components, and you can view all of this code in the GitHub repository. Let's take a look at some of the components that I've chosen to add. I've replaced all of the links and tags with buttons and material icons, and my videos are now a scrollable list of cards. I've also added a navigation bar and an input for my search, and then a few other goodies like these chips that allow you to sort. If you're coding along, I'd love to see what you did. Did you choose a different theme? Maybe you chose some other components to go ahead and implement along the way. Share your projects on Twitter with the hashtag AngularAesthetics so that we can see what you've built. In this video, we learned how to get up, running, and functional with Angular material and the benefits it brings us out of the box as a high-quality, versatile, and consistent component library. Together, we transformed an inaccessible, unusable application by adding the library, importing the modules, and using our components in our templates. Plus, we learned how to search the documentation so that we could find more options and capabilities along the way. And while doing all of that, we kind of built a cool app. Thanks for watching along as I explore the beauty of Angular. Let us know what else you'd like to see on this channel in the comments in the description below, and go ahead and like and subscribe while you're down there. I'll see you next time.